At the edge of a world painted in shades of sea and sky, where the wind sings ancient lullabies to the waves, stood a tall, lonely lighthouse. This was Luna's home. A small girl with eyes the color of the deep ocean. She lived there with her father, the lighthouse keeper. Her world was a quiet one, filled with the rhythmic crash of waves, the calls of distant seagulls, and the steadfast, sweeping beam of light that her father tended to each night. Her only friends were the constellations she named in the vast, velvet sky. One night, a ferocious storm raged against the shore. The sea, usually a gentle giant, became a roaring beast. Luna watched from her window, her heart pounding in rhythm with the thunder. The next morning, after the storm had exhausted its fury, the world was washed clean and still. As she walked along the beach, exploring the treasures the storm had left behind, she found something extraordinary. Nestled among the seaweed and driftwood was a small creature, no bigger than her two hands. It was hurt, and its body pulsed with a soft, ethereal blue light, like a trapped piece of the night sky. Luna knew at once that this was no ordinary sea animal. It was a Lumen, a magical creature from the deepest parts of the ocean, a being made of starlight and seawater, now lost and alone. Gently, she scooped up the fragile creature and carried it back to a hidden sea cave she knew. She named him Lumi. She cleaned his wound and brought him soft moss to rest on. Day after day, she would visit him in secret. They couldn't speak in words, but they didn't need to. Lumi would pulse his soft blue light, and Luna would understand. She would tell him stories of the stars, and he would create beautiful, shifting light patterns on the cave walls, showing her visions of his home in the deep, a world of glowing coral and silent sea giants. A deep, silent friendship bloomed between them, a bond woven from light and kindness. As Lumi grew stronger, his light became brighter, but Luna could sense a deep sadness within him. Through his light, he showed her a vision of the coming new moon, the darkest night. It was the only time the path back to his home, the abyssal grove, would be visible. If he missed it, he would be stranded in her world forever, his light slowly fading until he became nothing but sea foam. Luna's heart ached. The thought of losing her only friend was unbearable, but the thought of him fading away was even worse. She knew what she had to do. The journey to the deep-sea channel was treacherous, especially for her father's small wooden rowboat, but her mind was made up. On the night of the new moon, the sky was a blanket of black velvet. After her father had fallen asleep, Luna slipped out of the lighthouse, her heart a drum of fear and resolve. She carefully placed Lumi in a lantern filled with seawater and rowed out into the vast, silent ocean. Lumi's light was her only guide, a single blue star in the immense darkness. As they reached the spot Lumi had shown her, the water below began to glow. A swirling portal of soft, otherworldly light opened in the depths, a silent invitation home. She gently lowered the lantern into the water. Lumi pulsed his light one last time, a brilliant, warm flash that filled her heart with gratitude and a bittersweet farewell. She watched as he swam out of the lantern and disappeared into the glowing abyss. And then the light was gone. Luna rowed back to the lighthouse, her tears mingling with the salty spray of the sea. She was alone again, but she was not the same. Her heart was full of the memory of a magical friend and the courage she had found within herself. From that night on, every time she looked out at the sea, she felt a connection to the world below. And on the darkest nights, she would sometimes see a faint, familiar blue light pulsing far out in the deep waves. It was Lumi saying hello, a silent promise that true friendship, no matter how distant, never truly fades. If you enjoyed this story, please show your support by giving it a like and subscribe to Star Snooze Tales for more wonderful fairy tales. Thank you for listening.